Widest Music Variety. In the studio today, we've got two guests coming into Compass FM. Firstly, I'd like to welcome back Mikayla Woods. She's a ranger for Kōhaka o Tūhaitara Trust Coastal Park. G'day, how are you?
Kia ora, good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. And also you've brought in someone with you today as well. Maybe you'd like to introduce him.
We've got Nick Chapman in here with us today. He's the new General Manager of the park.
That's awesome. G'day, Nick. Morena, how are you?
I'm very good. Kia ora, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
It's lovely to have you in. So you're the new GM. So how have you sort of settled in so far?
Settled in good. I feel like I've hit the ground running. There's so much to cover though. The park covers over 700 hectares, so we're pretty excited about what we're doing there with the 200-year plan to rehabilitate the land and share all the good work we're doing.
That is very cool. Hey, before we get into what is the Tūhaitara Trust, Nick, if you can just give us a brief background as to where you've come from.
I've been in North Canterbury for the last 7 years, so originally managing the Ball River Outdoor Education Centre up in the Lewis Pass. So I've moved down here to, bring my special skill set to the trust and the park and bring it into the next stage of its development.
How exciting for you as well too, with the rest of the team. Hey, Nick, what is the Tūhaitara Trust and what do you do?
The Tūhaitara Trust was originally, a settlement from the Treaty of Waitangi, and so Ngā Tahu gifted the land back to all New Zealanders. And so we're tasked with, as a trust, to rehabilitate the land, bring it back to its traditional ecological state. So we're doing a lot of native plantings and also opening up the park for recreation. So part of our remit is to open up the tracks, make sure people can access it, whether it's on horse, wheelchair, walking, right back to the sort of the backcountry dune tracks as well. And we're also all about the environment and education. So one of our real core things is about passing on information and education about how people can interrelate with the natural environment and learn from what we're doing there with our BioNode projects and other projects we're going to be rolling out in the future.
Which is wonderful because it's been running for a few years. My kids actually went to one of the local schools and two of them were lucky enough to go along to be part of the BioNode, which is a really cool space that they learn about planting and what to plant, where to plant, and they had the best time. And as you're saying, it's great to bring for the the tamariki and the rangatahi and learning more about ecology. It's great.
It's definitely good to get their passion growing and going around the park. And
very inquisitive, aren't they, Mikayla?
Yeah, it extends further than that as well. If you nourish that now, they will grow to make huge changes in the world in a positive way. So.
That is so cool, just like yourself. So is that where you sort of sparked interest, was going along to some of these plantings or learning more about the coastal park? Where's your inspiration?
Just learning more about it and seeing how, one person can make a change, but as a group of like-minded people, it really nourishes that and facilitates that moving forwards.
That is so cool. And you do have something that you're facilitating at the moment, Mikayla. So when and where is this planting day happening?
So Gladstone Road and Pegasus, we are having a planting on the 12th of August at 9 a.m. And we're going to be planting a mix of natives, but predominantly tōtara, because we want to establish a tōtara forest. They get up to 15 metres high.
Wow.
So in a few years, or quite a few years, it'll be a nice, well-established forest, hopefully. So
that'll be lovely, because there was naturally some of those pines were taken down, weren't they?
Yes, the pines were taken down, so we kind of want to establish that taller tree forest again, but natives this time. So.
That is so awesome. Hey, Nick, so Mikayla's mentioned about the tōtara. What are some other plants that maybe you have down at the coastal park that sort of is, I guess, uniquely for the park themselves?
Well, we've got a really awesome project based around Tūtaipātu Lagoon. We call it the Transect. So it's a native passageway, really, a corridor from the sand dunes right through to this tōtara forest. So the tōtara forest on Gladstone Road is the end part of it. And so we invite everyone along who can make it on the 12th of August to come down and plant some tōtara yourself. You can come back with your kids later and see them growing tall. But from there, you move into the kahikatea, te koku, lots of harakiki around that, the margin there, the ropu and the bulrush and obviously the lagoon margins, right through to naira and stuff, heading up into the sand dunes where we've got the pingu and the spiniflex and those sort of plants. So we've got a pretty diverse range of native plants we plant in the area. We're finding out what particularly works in different areas, and we pass that information on those planting days and help to give people knowledge about plant natives in their own home as well.
That is so cool, and I especially love that a few years ago my kids were involved in the first ever mudfish being re-released back into, I think it was at Tūhaitara Lagoon.
Yeah, and some of the I don't know is actually Mikayla this morning actually went out to set some traps to manage and see what the populations are doing at the moment.
Well, that's exciting. Look forward to Mikayla to find out how they've grown.
Yes, it's really interesting to see their numbers increasing, especially with the flooding. The biota nodes have expanded in size, so they'll definitely reproduce more. But when that shrinks again, obviously habitat shrinks, so the species will too. So we're looking at translocating them to more biota nodes to try and establish bigger populations.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. Hey, thank you so much for both coming in. If anyone would like to maybe volunteer with the Te Kōhaka o Tūhaitara Coastal Trust, the park there at Wood End Beach, who would they get hold of if they say, look, I can help with the volunteer planting days, or just like to be involved in some way?
If they go on our website, they will see some email addresses. If they just flick through an email address and let us know, we're more than happy to have hands on deck, and you get the benefit of watching it grow and coming back in a few years' time and being like, we planted that, we helped build this. So
oh, absolutely. My kids love going back and seeing the biota nodes and how much they've grown over the last few years. It is such a wonderful thing that you do down at the coastal park there. Thank you so much for coming in, Nick Chapman, the new GM, and we're looking forward to having you guys come in again more on a regular basis. And Mikayla, just again, when is your planting day?
It's the 12th of August, at 9 a.m.
Yep. Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll catch you again another time.
Compass FM.